Most people make the mistake of picking a product. What they really need is a niche with a repeat pain. Predictable income doesn't come from just one product or even talent. It comes from selling to people that have a pain or problem that shows up on a schedule and often gets bigger and worse over time. Here's another way to think about it. If your niche doesn't have a deadline, a dollar amount, or a weekly headache, it's not predictable income, and you're going to be trying to find the next customer again and again and again. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to come up with a number of digital product ideas that are repeated, they're growing, and they'll work in 2026. These are specific niches that you can pinpoint, you can take advantage of with a number of digital products that can help you change the forecast, change the outlook of 2026 and going forward. Hi, my name is Austin Godbolt, and I believe in predictable income. I don't believe in getting paid by ad platforms like TikTok or YouTube because they're unpredictable, they're unstable, and they can be taken from you at any point. What I believe in is building systems, and if you want to be a real online business owner, you need to have systems. So if you believe that, like I do, make sure that you follow me and share this with anyone that is still struggling to get monetized by YouTube or TikTok. So as I mentioned, what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at a number of niches that are great for digital products. This is something that you can create yourself on a weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, have a digital product that you can sell either using content, so through TikTok and YouTube, or run paid ads to. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one, new puppy owners who want a training and routine without chaos. Now, dogs, pets are the largest niche out there. People love their dogs. They love their dogs more than they love people, but that's a different story for a different day. And so what you want to do is you want to create a digital product or even a service where you are helping new puppy owners train their pets. In the past, you would go to a store like Petco or Petland and try and train it themselves. However, what you can do is you can create a 30 or 90-day schedule where you teach them different tricks, teach them the potty train, teach them when to eat. Now, you got to remember, having a dog is a problem. It's a good problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. When you think about getting a new puppy into your home, you got to think about them peeing in the house, them wanting to go outside at 3 in the morning when you're trying to sleep, them trying to eat your food, right, while you're sitting down to eat. And so if you can help people solve that ongoing problem, then you can build a nice little business for yourself. Now, what's really important is that there's always going to be somebody new, a new pet owner, a new doggy owner, right? And so there's always going to be a market. And what you can do is you can create multiple digital products that address the issue. Some people are going to want to try and solve this problem on their own. So they're going to want like a planner or a schedule, like a meal schedule or a potty training schedule. Some people are going to want a little bit more help where you create a course teaching them how to teach their dog how to roll over or lay down or follow commands or even just walk nice. And so the cool thing is you can meet people where they are and you can build out a nice little business for yourself. What I would recommend that you do if you want the most success, niche down. Don't just focus on puppy owners. Focus on Doberman Pinscher puppy owners. There's a large number of people that have Doberman Pinschers or want Doberman Pinschers, but they don't want the frustration that comes with trying to train a Doberman Pinscher. Doberman Pinschers, which is it's a bigger dog. It has different requirements and, it's different than maybe a Dachshund or one of the other smaller ones out there. When you're trying to come up with different digital product ideas in general, it's always great to niche down. People often think, hey, if I niche down, I'm going to be talking to too small of an audience. If you niche down and talk about a specific type of dog or animal, you're still talking to millions of people, and you don't need millions of people to have millions of dollars in the bank. Now, obviously, I'm not guaranteeing you that you'll make any money, but just shift the way that you're thinking about it. Don't think that you need to catch everybody. You want to catch a specific group of people that have a specific problem. So that is number one. We're going to have to move a little bit quicker because I got a lot of these that I want to cover for you. Number two, people who are planning on moving. So these people are going to be relocating, downsizing, and changing their address. Now, when we moved from a house to an apartment. And what we had to do is we had to change our address. We had to reach out to all the businesses and USPS. This is a huge headache, right? This is a huge problem, especially if you're moving across country. If you're moving we just moved like 10 miles, 5 miles. If someone is moving from, let's say, Wisconsin to Florida, which is lots of miles, I don't want to say it's lots of miles, there's a entire pain point that comes with it. You got to think about packing. You've got to think about finding realtors and even something as simple as rental insurance or homeowners insurance. Think about all of the problems that are included with helping someone just move. It's more than just getting a bunch of boxes for free from Walmart, renting a U-Haul truck, and then moving your stuff over a series of days and turning your friends into enemies because you're not going to pay them. This is a huge problem that a lot of people have to go through. And so what you can do is you can create like a planner. People realize that they're moving. They're going to start doing a little bit of research. What's required to move? What are the things that I'm forgetting? You create content, or even I guess you go down Facebook ads to this, where you sell a planner, a digital checklist, where you are helping people identify everything that goes into moving. Then you can actually niche down a little bit more and help people plan and pack a move for each individual room, because different rooms have different needs. And then also help them with address changes and downsizing. Downsizing, I think, is going to be ever more important as the U.S. population gets a little bit older. So you can help them plan their downsizing, how to get rid of their old stuff. Who can they call, like 1-800-JUNK, for example, to get rid of old stuff. But don't sleep on helping people move, because there's a multi-layer problem. And if you just address one of those problems, gain some credibility, you can potentially make money. Like I said, I'm going to have to move a little bit faster because I got a lot of these that I want to get to. Number 3, help people manage chronic life administrative tasks. So appointments, insurance calls, forms, documents. This is a big niche in and of itself. So think about the U.S. population. It's getting a little bit older, and they're going to have more appointments, more healthcare appointments. And as healthcare changes and devolves in the United States, people are going to need to keep track of their insurance companies. They're going to need to keep track of their appointments and forms that they need to submit and any additional documentation. And so if you can collect all of that and put it in a nice little pretty package, you can sell that package for $10. You can create a workshop teaching people how to fill out forms to get a reduction on their hospital bills, right? Make sure that you are following all applicable guidelines and laws, but think about it from the other perspective. If you have a background in healthcare, you understand the problem. And I'll just speak from personal experience. When you get a healthcare bill, it's inflated and people don't know what to do. They're kind of frustrated. When we had twins, we got a bill for $12,000. And so we had to figure out how to pay it. And so what you could do is you can create content, or I guess run ads as well, where you're teaching people how to manage this type of life situation. You can help people understand what to say to insurance companies to get what you need, to get the resources that you're looking for. Now, again, you can come up with call scripts. These are templates. You can do you could actually create like a planner for hospital visits. If you've got a chronic illness, you're going pretty frequently. A digital appointment book. Some people like myself, I don't like the calendars, but I will look at an appointment book. You could even create an app too, I guess, if you wanted to. That's something that I actually thought about to help manage appointments for loved ones. So just real quick, and I'm going to have to miss a bunch of these, but what I thought about doing was, when my mom was sick, creating an app where everybody in the immediate family that we gave access to, so like me, my wife, and my sister, let them have access to the appointments for my mom, and then we could coordinate who's going to be there. We could coordinate the medicines that are required. We could coordinate the scheduling so that someone could always be at her hospital, her appointments. Someone could always take her, drop her off, and pick her up. So, there's real life opportunity there, and I think there could have been a money there as well, because no one teaches you how to parent your parents or raise your parents. So think about that. For example, that is number 3. Number 4, and this is always really popular, I love talking about this, is people getting married. People getting married is a huge problem, but again, it's a good problem. Think about everything that goes into getting married. The timeline, people oftentimes want to learn how to get married in a specific time. So like maybe a 3-month marriage, maybe 6, 9 months, 1 year, destination marriage, how to communicate and negotiate with vendors. That's always a tricky one, because vendors obviously want to make the most amount of money, and you can actually negotiate. Now, You can even niche down within this one. You can do micro weddings. You can do a destination wedding. So helping people get married in Aruba. DIY brides that are trying to get married for less than $5,000 and they're going to try and do everything themselves. Lay out everything that's required for them to get married, to do everything themselves, wedding table numbers, seating, all of that stuff, even coming down to picking out the bouquet and the arrangements, all of that stuff. You could actually create a digital product packet and sell that as well. So I think there's a bunch of opportunities. Another one that I've got on here is a culturally specific wedding. So maybe you're helping people that are Buddhist get married. That's a niche that I think is probably untapped here in the United States that you could probably take advantage of. And again, you've got multiple layers. You could sell DIY templates for vendor negotiation and confirmation. You could create like a complete course or workshop. You could create a workshop where you're teaching people how to create their own wedding table numbers, or create their own bouquet of flowers, or how to negotiate with an international vendor that is in Aruba to make sure that you're getting the best deal. So you can create different levels. And then at the highest level, you could do one-on-one consultation where you're charging a premium to help people plan a destination wedding. That is number 4. Number 5, and this one actually hits really close to home. Homeowners planning a remodel. This is really, really, really important, because if you don't plan a remodel properly, you're going to fall out of scope. So the time that it takes to get finished, you're going to overpay. You're not going to know what to expect. You're not going to have a budget, and things just get crazy and frustrating. And this is an ongoing problem. And this works whether you are hiring a person to do it or you're trying to do it yourself. Now, again, in the next few years, I think we're going to see a huge influx of people trying to do stuff themselves because of the economy. And if people are trying to do stuff themselves, they need to know everything required to go into, let's say, fixing a fence, right? They need to know the number of fence panels. They need to know how much cement it's going to cost, how much cement they're going to need. So you could build out a calculator, and then you could do a parts list. You could even, negotiate with contractors and how to find a good contractor. There's lots of opportunities out there. I think a lot of the things that I mentioned my last with the weddings could work as well. So in addition to a calculator, you can do a contractor negotiation template, whether that's in emails or text messages. You can help people remodel specific rooms. So a complete bathroom remodel, help them pick out the parts that they need, walk them through it step by step, make sure that they're not missing anything so that they have a remodel that they can be proud of. And again, we can do a DIY, we can do a done with you. And then at the highest level, you could be a contractor who hires subcontractors. But I think this is a really cool idea because one of the worst things that could happen is you start a renovation. And this actually happened to us. We wanted to pull up the carpets in our home and put down flooring. And what wound up happening is we wound up spending as much money doing it ourselves as we would have if we hired somebody, especially when you factor in the time. And so if you added a time calculator, people will see that it might be actually cheaper just to have somebody do it themselves. But planning remodels is really big. It's going to only get bigger as things get more expensive. Number 6, first-time homeowners who want a home maintenance warranty contractor system. Now, this I think is really important. Thinking back to when we first moved in, we didn't realize all of the things that required for a new homeowner. Like, did you know that you've got to flush out your hot water heater? You're supposed to do it every year. We didn't know that. You could create content teaching people about the dangers of not doing that. And you could go by room, everything that needs to be done. For example, inside of the bathrooms, they've got vents. Those vents need to be cleaned out because they start fires. In fact, I believe one of the things that happened to my sister-in-law is the vent actually caught fire, and their house, unfortunately, was not able to be repaired because of that. So what you can do is you can come up with a maintenance plan, especially for things like changing out the heating vent. Come up with a maintenance plan. Help people add structure to their life so that they can live in their house as long as possible. Again, we want to save people time, save people money, and help them avoid frustration. One of the biggest frustrations is having a house and all of the little things that go into owning, and maintaining a house. So I think you could go that route as well. You can get ultra specific, focus on individual rooms. You could also focus on different niches, like if you have kids, if you are trying to manage your your parents or grandparents. I think that's another option as well. If you live in studio apartment, you can work on seasonal. So here in the north in Wisconsin, it's like, I don't know, it's like 19 degrees out right now. Down in Florida, it could be 65 degrees. And so there's different wants and needs and requirements there as well. That is number 6. Number 7, for teachers who want a first-year survival system. Now, this is really important because in school, you learn theory. In theory, everything just goes smoothly, right? Everything just works. But in practice, in real life, especially for first-time teachers, there's so many little variables. There's variables when it comes to the actual students, what's going to be available to you in the classroom, and what's going to be available at the school. And so what you could do is you could actually put together a first-year survival system based on the grade, based on the class that they're teaching, where you help make their life easier and help them avoid frustration and help them not spend so much time at school. So you could do weekly lessons. You can do planning dashboards. You could come up with like routine charts, anything to make the life of a teacher easier and hopefully not have to spend as much money. You can also help with parent communication. So what if you came up with a bunch of scripts for children that were struggling so that you are saying the right thing, getting your point across, but you're not making the parent angry? These are all different opportunities that you can get into. And again, there's a bunch of different niches out there. You can do grade level, subject, neurodivergency, friendly classroom systems, sub-plans. So maybe you could create plans for substitute teachers. And you can even do this based on holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, all of the big holidays. And you can even actually come up with a plan for summer. Help your kids stay on track and prepare for next summer. That is number 7. Number 8 are career switchers who want to get into a specific role. Here, you're going to come up with interview questions that you can help them with. You can help them build out a portfolio and just overall make them feel more comfortable and prepared to get started. A lot of people are going to be looking for jobs in the United States. As the economy changes and slows, people are going to be looking. And so if they're trying to get into a different career, so for example, I was working in a university as a center director, I switched careers into being a software developer, completely different field. And so I had to learn the differences. I had to go study interview questions. I had to buy a book. It was called Code something. I don't remember the book, but I had to buy a book and I had to learn how to shift my thinking and start thinking like a software developer and not just like a problem solver, customer service type role. And so again, resume kit, interview kit. And one of the things that's really important with interviews is making sure that you are asking questions and you are framing your interview the right way so that it's more of like a conversation and not just like a quick fire 20 questions, right? And so again, we want to help people make money in this instance. And so we're going to put them in a good position to do that by avoiding the frustration of interviewing. We have different levels here. We can do resume templates. We could give them an interview question bank. At the next level, we could create a short little course. At a higher level, we could actually review resumes for them and improve the resume for them to help them find the job that they're looking for. That is number 8. All right, so we're just going to do one more here real quick. And this one is for my fitness people. You could help people prepare for their first long range event. And what do I mean by that? If you are sitting on the couch and you want to run a 5K, you can help people prepare to go from a couch to a 5K. If someone has been running before and they're setting a goal of a half marathon or running a marathon, you can teach people how to do that because there is a specific process that you've got to go through so that you can successfully complete that goal, right? And so you can actually kind of segment this a few different ways. People that are busy, that are full-time employees and they've got kids that might not have a bunch of time to train, people that are only training on treadmills, people that want to prepare for a marathon using strength training as an assistant. You can even do this for people that are in the north versus the south because it's going to be a hard time running in negative and in 19 degree weather outside versus in 60 degree weather down south. You can come up with a weekly training calendar that people pay for. At the next level, you can put together maybe like a checklist. You can teach them the appropriate stretches for running and how to not get shin splints. Again, we want to help them avoid pain and frustration, and you can do that by meeting people where they are. But I think these are 9 great opportunities. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But what's most important, and what I try and tell you guys every single video, is make sure that you don't just consume information. Start taking action on what you're seeing, hearing, and learning. Make sure that you find one of these. If you have to rewatch the video again, make sure that you find one that you feel comfortable implementing, or maybe even uncomfortable. It sounds cool, but you're uncomfortable. Start working toward it. Start implementing. Don't just watch another video. Don't just consume information and then hope for the best. You will learn more by taking action, small action, consistent action, than you will by just watching another video. So let me know in the comment section how long you stayed. If you stayed to the 22-minute mark, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.